Hi, my name is Mr. Clark. I have concerns about and some questions. At night, my son comes home from school and he's crying. There's some other boys picking on him and taking his money. And I'm concerned about it. And I was wondering if your school can do something about it. And I need to talk. I want to talk to you. I was happy and excited about my son coming to school here. But I'm very, very concerned because he's a little boy.
I appreciate your concern. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with your little boy. Could you tell me his name and the name of his teacher, please?
I don't know his teacher's name, and my son's name,
Okay.
I missed it.
Yes. I think I remember him now. Has he told you the names of the children that are picking on him?
Yes, there's many of them. I think it's because he's deaf, and they take advantage of him because he's deaf. I'm thinking about taking him out and putting him in a deaf school. I put him here because it's close to home, but if this continues, I'm going to take him out and put him in a deaf school because I'm tired of it. I've talked with the teacher a few times and tried to explain it to her, but
When you talked
it didn't
with
change.
the teacher, did you have an interpreter, or were you just trying to communicate through writing notes?
I wrote notes. We wrote notes. But I think just because he's deaf and I'm deaf, I've just had
When you
enough.
went to see her, did you make an appointment or did you just show up?
I just showed up. I tried to call a couple of times, 2 or 3 times, but she never had time to talk, so I just showed up one time. I think it made her nervous or something. But I want to resolve this.
I'm really glad that you came to talk with me today, Mr. Clark, and I'm wondering if part of the problem is a communication problem between you and the teacher. I think in the future it would probably be a good idea for us to get an interpreter. When you meet with Mrs. Fowler, if we could get an interpreter, then I think that there would be better communication between the two of you. And I will arrange for that. I would like to arrange for a meeting and hire an interpreter, and then maybe the 3 of us could meet. But I need some more information from you. Tell me again specifically, when did he first start to cry and complain about going to school? Tell me everything he has told you about the other boys that are picking on him. Where does it happen? When does it happen? How often does it happen? Tell me all of that information, and then we'll try to help you.
Okay. Started when school started. The first day, it was okay. The next day, he came home, he was crying. I tried to talk to him, I asked him what the problem was, and he just cried and continued to cry. And he told me that there were boys that were picking on him in the class, and the teacher saw it and told him to stop. But he's deaf and stuff, and I think that's why they're picking on him. And on the bus driver doesn't say anything. And he told me Garrett, a Craig, mostly boys. The girls seem to be nice. It's mostly boys. Another name, Kelly, 4, 5, 6. I don't know, but he's deaf. I'm not sure he knows all their names. He's very upset. He's a little boy. He's only 8.
I understand a little better now. It's pretty normal for 8-year-old boys to pick on each other. And while we certainly don't want your little boy to go home and cry, it really is pretty normal for little 8-year-old boys to pick. That's kind of little boy behavior. I think a big part of the problem is that we have never had a deaf child at this school before. And so many of our children really don't understand. Do you have any ideas about how we could help our staff and our students understand more about deafness?
Maybe get an adult with an interpreter, and the two of them could explain about deaf. The teacher, the principal, staff, all the people that work here at the school, and get them to explain about deaf and help them to understand better about deaf culture. It may be normal for 8-year-olds to pick on him, but I think it's because he's deaf is more. If they need to explain deaf culture more, it's important, and people need to understand it.
What exactly is deaf culture? I don't think I've heard that word before.
Deaf and hearing, the languages are different. The hearing language, there are 2 different languages. Sign language is a foreign language. You don't understand it because you have no idea. When you talk to people, you understand them. When you talk to deaf people, you don't understand them. It's hard for you to understand.
I don't believe I've ever seen a deaf adult. How would I go about finding a deaf adult to come in and talk to my staff? Where are deaf people?
You can call the deaf and the hard of hearing services. You can contact them and they can get you in touch with somebody. Really, if you just look around, you see deaf people. You don't know it. You have no idea. Unless you talk to me, you don't know if I'm deaf or not.
Or maybe I just think you were rude and ignoring me. But you're right. I don't think I've ever noticed anybody deaf at the grocery store or at the bank. But I think that's a good suggestion. If we could have somebody, we could find somebody deaf to come in and talk with our staff. I will try to set that up for the next work day. Have somebody come in and talk with the staff and explain. But in the meantime, I think maybe I would like to set up a meeting with you and Mrs. Fowler and myself to talk about the problems and see if we can come up with some solutions. What would be a good time for you?
I work all day till 4 o'clock. What time does school finish?
School's over at 3:30.
4 o'clock, better 4 o'clock for me.
Is one day better than another day for you?
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Call me before the last minute. Don't wait till the last minute. You can call me on the relay. Do you know the name
No,
relay?
I've never heard of relay. What's that?
You've never called the relay
Just the
before?
amount.
If you look at your phone bill every month, you'll see that you pay for the relay. You call the relay calls me, and they voice for you. And it goes, the three of us, and then we can have a combination.
Can you tell me what that is?
Telecommunications for the deaf. It's like typing, like on a typewriter. You put the phone on it.
Do all deaf people have those?
Most, yes.
Can you use that to call out of your home?
Yes. Yes. I can call. Yeah. I can call the relay, and then the relay calls you. Yes.
I've never seen one of those. Do you think we ought to have one of those in the school office?
Yes. It would be nice, yes. Yes, you could be trained to use it. Yes, it would be nice if you had one here.
Would the deaf
be able to call.
adult that comes to train the staff know about a TDD? Would he be able to teach us how to use one?
Yes, most deaf. Okay, you can ask him before he comes. Ask him if he knows about the TDD and if he can explain it. If he says
So
no,
if I
then
were
ask
to
somebody
call a
else.
deaf person, I would need to use relay.
If you call, you need to use relay? Yes. Yes.
How would I get that number? Is relay listed in the telephone book?
I will give you the number. You can call.
How would I
I'll
get
give it
that
to you.
number? Are they listed in the telephone book?
Yes.
Do Do you know that number?
Oh, the screen went black.
Okay, tell me that again. I will need to remember that.
Is it slow? Or fast? Which one? 1-800-735-7262.
You have been very helpful today, and I am confident that we will be able to resolve this problem with your child, and no one will be picking on him anymore. I will talk with Mrs. Fowler and arrange a date, and then we will call you through Relay, North Carolina, and set up an appointment for us to talk, and I will call the Division of Services for Deaf and Hard of Hearing and see if they can recommend a person to come do some in-service training with our staff. It was really nice talking with you today, Mr. Clark. I appreciate you coming in and letting us making us aware of this problem, and I feel confident that we'll be able to resolve it.
I'm warning you. I want you to know, if the problem is not resolved, I will take my son and put him in a different school.
Well, we certainly don't want that to happen. We want to work with you, and we want to make sure that your son is happy here at school.